being here tonight. So tonight's agenda will have our CEO update you on construction, and then we'll have development talk to you about the dress circle and some reminders. And then we'll have our new Director of Operations introduce to you the new Capitol Theater. And for the first half, Walter will be on last. Security will update you on security. Then we'll take a 30-minute break. We'll have some refreshments and a surprise I have for you. And then it's going to be me reminding you of policies and procedures, and let's have a good time. And now, with further ado, here is Susan Crockett, our new CEO.
Hello, everyone. So good to be here and see everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight for your annual reorientation. I know sitting around listening to policies and procedures is not the most exciting thing, but we appreciate it. And of course, it's always important to do. Things do change around here, especially this year, right? With all of our construction going on. I'm excited to tell you that we are on time with reopening everything. We're pretty much on budget. And what's happened is, the more we do, the more you want to do, right? So, you know, the original expansion plan was to add on that beautiful new space and make our dress circle room larger. And then, of course, it was, well, we got to do some stuff in the concourse, right? We got to make the concourse a little bit nicer looking, a little more functional. Oh yeah, and the bathrooms. We should really do the bathrooms too. So there's a whole nother wave of projects that are going to be coming mostly next summer. We're still in the process of raising the remaining amount of money that we need. We're in the middle of a $15 million campaign. It's the state-of-the-art phase. And what that's covering is some expansion to our education program, which was given to us already by the Billheimers, so that's why it's the Billheimer Capitol Theater. But it also covers things like carpeting throughout the rest of the building, a new sound system, replacing the auditorium seats, redoing the bathrooms, replacing the freight elevator, all those, repaving the parking lot, that still has to be done. So we're still in the middle of raising. It was a $15 million phase. We are $6 million in, which isn't bad, right? It's been about a year that we've been doing that. And so, and we're really confident that we're going to be able to do that. So a lot of our members, we've had a lot of members that kind of strayed away, and now they're coming back because they're excited about everything that's happening. One of the big projects we're going to be doing is the England Family Music Pavilion, and that is formerly known as the Freedom Boat Club Landing, formerly known as the East Side Cafe, formerly known as the Big Oak Cafe. I'm trying to think. I think that was taking me back to the 90s. So yeah, it's had these a lot of names, but never really never used the space and made it as nice as we could. And the England family loves the idea of having that little stage out there. They love music, and so this is something that they wanted to step forward and help us with. And so we will be, right now, we're architectural drawings of it, and it will be a beautiful new flooring, new stage, some coverage for the stage from the elements. It was really important to us not to do anything that would damage the tree or to block the tree. So that limited us. We had our architect that did the front part. We have those huge columns, you know, those big concrete columns in the new? We call them giant mushrooms. But he wanted to do that over there, and I said, oh, you're gonna kill my tree. You're gonna kill the tree, or you're gonna block the tree. We don't want that. So we actually have another concept coming in. It's gonna be beautiful when it gets done. My hope is it gets done before next summer. It all depends on, now that we've opened this, we'll be opening this side up, we'll get ready to close that side, right? So it's growing pains. I appreciate all that you've done to help our customers. I don't know if you know this, but we just won an award from Creative Loafing. Did you know that? Anyone know that? Okay. So they do the best of the Bay, best performing arts center, best restaurant on the beach, that kind of stuff. Well, this year we won their Critics' Choice Award for, what was it, Walter? Best
venue during a facelift.
Best venue during a facelift. And it's this really cute little blurb in their paper that said, it is amazing how well run the hall was during a major construction, and you've thought of everything, you took care of us, and it did not go unnoticed. I mean, that's from critics. Is that awesome? Well, that's you guys, because I wasn't out there greeting them, so thank you so much for that. So that kind of gives you a snapshot where we are. We'll be opening the new spaces up November 1st. And there are some additional things we'll be adding on as we go too, just to make it a little more fun for people as they come, more amenities. And so stay tuned. Does anyone have any questions before I go home, feed my chihuahuas? Okay. Thanks again so much. We appreciate you so, so much.
Well, again, my name is Emily Sleeper. I work in development. And I'm the VIP team, and I mainly help to ticket our Dress Circle members. And I also work in the Dress Circle Lounge. I've met quite a few of you over the past of the course year in that nice public space that we had to fight the bathrooms, right? So hallelujah, we won't do that much longer. So I just wanted to tell you, even though they're not here, who represents the development team. Susie Delaney is our Chief Development Officer and Vice President. Laura LeBlanc is the Director of Membership, and she's my direct boss. Sharon Painter is the Corporate Sponsor Manager. Megan Heller is the Capital Campaigns Manager, and she's the one kind of in charge of raising all that money that we're doing all these expansion projects with. Laurel Bennett is in donor services and data management. And Catherine Hagner is our special events manager. She's the one that puts together all the Friends of Music and any other, this grand reopening that we're having. She's responsible for putting that together. Darren Rivera is our grants manager. And I'm part of the VIP team. Kelly, I'm sure some of you have met us all. Kelly, she's blonde. Tim, the big guy that you all refer to, you say to the house manager, that big guy up there, that's Tim. Jeff Stewart is he's the Circle of Friends membership manager, so he deals more with the members that deal directly with the ticket office, and then myself. And just quickly, the purpose of our function, a lot of people don't know what the development team does. And basically our main thing that we do is everything that we do or touch is supposed to push us towards fundraising. And our fundraising goes towards basically the capital campaign and membership. And membership pays for a lot more than just the education component. Just so you know that, a lot of people will tell other people, well, membership is just for education, but it also keeps the lights on and our salaries and your salary, which is the party at the end of the year. And we're so appreciative of your generosity towards Ruth Eckerd Hall. All right, so there's a couple of things that I wanted to show you that you'll see around the hall, and you probably already have. And I'll just pass them down the middle row. Some of the questions that you all will get during the course of the year is, how do I become a member? And so this is our main membership brochure. I don't think I have enough for everybody, but if you could pass them back and over so you could take a look at them. This brochure alone highlights every level of membership that Ruth Eckerd Hall offers, from our $100 membership on up to our Superstar, which is $24,000 a year. So One of the important things that we like to stress is the Englands, for instance, who have donated the pavilion and quite a bit of other money. They started, their first membership was $300. So the thing about membership is we never know the person who donates $100 a year if they're going to become the next Englands or the next Jerry or whatever. So we want to treat every member, whether or not they donate $100 or if they're the $35 prompters that we still honor, if they're going to leave us a legacy or anything else. So we want to treat them all as if, you know, they're the next Jerry. If you don't know who Jerry is, she's often referred to as our $1 million lady. So Jerry Troutwine's very important to all of us. She's a wonderful lady. Let's see. Right now we have a membership drive going on. It ends October 31st. So if anybody at the shows in the next month, this current month, ask you about it, they can get 6, if they're a Circle of Friends member and they become a member or upgrade, they'll get an additional 3 months for free. And if they join or upgrade their Dress Circle membership, they'll get an additional 6 months for free. And that kind of came into play because of Universal was doing that kind of a thing, and so we've had an extraordinary response to it. So if anybody asks you about that, that ends October 1st. October 31st. You guys know what you're talking about, don't you? I better not make another mistake, okay. All right, so you may see some of these buttons, which are the 6 months free, 3 months free. We highlight the 6 months, you know, because we want all their money. We just don't want a little bit. And then also, if you're new or you've never received this pin, it's ask me how to become a member. And if you don't know, it's better to say, I'll find out the answer for you, than to just kind of give them whatever answer you think might be best at the time. Not that I'm saying anybody's ever done that. But, yes, Sandy?
Hi, Emily. We were told that they are to, because they wear those pins for every show.
Right.
So if a patron comes over to ask them, how do we become a member? We have the brochures at
Yes.
the info station, and that's what they're supposed to do, refer them to the info station.
Okay.
Or they can go on the website, or if Jeff is in the
Right.
building, we refer them to the actual member table.
Right.
Is that correct?
That's correct. And Jeff Stewart, who is the Circle of Friends membership manager, I think he only does it at Ruth Eckerd, but he will sometimes have looks like a little Wheel of Fortune wheel. He sets up quite frequently in the east side. So he'll be there. You certainly can send them there. You certainly could send them to the Dress Circle Lounge, especially if you think, if they talk about Dress Circle, what we might do for them is if they came in and we felt they were very interested, well, let me buy you a drink tonight and offer them the Dress Circle Lounge for the night so they could get a little flavor of it. So it's always okay, not that I'm going to buy the whole hall drinks if they're interested, but you know, if we think a person here or there might, you know, be sincerely interested, we'll do things for that. So certainly the brochure that I sent around, they're located all over the place, and if you could refer to that. And at every single show, there will be at least one development person who will be a VIP, myself, Kelly, or Tim, and then there's also quite often another development manager there, and we can help out if you don't know, or you can always come and ask. Did that answer your question, Sandy?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right. All right. The Nancy and David Billheimer Capitol Theater. I'm going to talk more about that than I will Ruth Eckerd, just because we know that. The new Dress Circle Lounge is a little bit still up in the air here at Ruth Eckerd. We have something that we do that a lot of you are familiar with called VIP Loge Package. And so people can call in, and who they are referred to, if they call the ticket office or the Dress Circle, they're referred to Adam Burr, who works in marketing, and he's the sales manager, group sales manager, I think is his title or something. And he sells the loge boxes as a package. So they have to buy 4 seats. And with that package, they get a one-time admittance to the Dress Circle Lounge for that show. And so I do need these back, but if you want to pass them back and around, if they can make their way to one side or the other, I'll collect them. But this is the one-time pass that you all can take a look at. It has their name on it, basically just Loge Box, one-time package, one-time admittance to the Dress Circle. They're supposed to bring those cards with them when they come. If they don't, their tickets obviously would say whatever Loge Box they're in, AAA, BBB. It would also say VIP package. Sandy?
I have a question.
Yes.
So what if I do not buy a package and I just buy 2 seats?
Okay, great question. If I didn't buy the VIP Loge package, but I bought 2 seats that happened to be in a Loge Box. So the sequence of events for Loge Boxes, first they generally start with our members in Dress Circle. We have people who specifically sponsor Loge Boxes. They get first chance at those seats. If they don't buy them, we then offer them to the rest of our Dress Circle members. If they don't want them, that's kind of when Adam gets a hold of them. If he doesn't sell them, then the ticket office will sell them so that someone could buy a Loge Box, 1, 2, or 2 or 4 seats. They sell them. When the ticket office sells them, they can break them up in 2s and 4s. So if they happen to come, their ticket is just going to say full price. They're not going to have a card that I just passed around, and it'll say AAA, BBB, the Loge Box location, but it'll say plus full price, because everything at the Capitol pricing starts with a plus sign. So theirs will say plus full price, and then that's the only thing they get is that seat. If they have the VIP package, they're entitled to come into the Dress Circle Lounge during, before the show, if there's an intermission, and then after the show. And then keeping in mind that that door on the mezzanine, we don't use that during the performance at any time. Now, that being said, there's this huge gray area with development. So what my boss has instructed us to do is, since we don't use that door, and let's say the Englands were in box D, let's say, okay? I'm probably not gonna make them walk downstairs all the way across and go back upstairs. So I may open the door and let the Englands in, so that's okay. And so if one of us initiates that door being opened at any time, just roll with it. There's always this gray area that we kind of deal with. Sandy?
So if I buy 2 tickets at the Loge Box, where do I go and get a drink?
You can go to any bar except for the Dress Circle bar.
Okay, because I thought we used to give them a wristband and then the bartender, the Dress Circle, knew to charge them.
Well, no. So what we're doing is,
So I guess that changed.
no, we're giving the people that buy the VIP Loge package a yellow wristband so that we can identify who the Loge VIP people are. If they just buy a seat alone, that's it. They're like any other patron and they go downstairs.
Okay. Everybody heard that? Yes.
And the members would have a different color, and that color changes. But the VIP Loge package, it's always going to be this bright construction orange, or yellow, construction yellow, bright, it's going to blind you kind of color. All right. So Adam Burr would be the person, the point of contact on who they would buy those VIP Loge packages from. I know that in your Usher meeting prior to the show, your house managers will often tell you where's a good spot to sit if there's seating available. And one of those locations happens to be the Dress Circle Lounge, especially at the Capitol Theater during intermission, which is fantastic. We welcome you all to come and sit there if there aren't members in there. So I was there for Adamant, and we had 2 intermissions. Unfortunately, most often the Dress Circle members are coming for the main act and not all those previous. So there may be times like one of us is like, no, not now. But we don't know that until it happens. Sandy?
So I think you're confusing them, and you might have not known. You said that they come up at intermission. They usually come up when the show starts.
Right.
So you're
If
saying
there's-
if there's an opening act, then,
Yes.
okay, so at that point, is there any way that development can communicate that to the house manager so that the ushers can know that before they go up?
We'll do our best. We'll let you know.
Okay. Well, you
Um,
can ask them. I mean, they should understand that if there's patrons in the dress circle lounge, that ushers really don't belong there.
Right. And so it was kind of tricky with Adamant. So we had the 2 openers, which the members sat through. And then once the Adamant went on, then it was great for you all to come in and sit down. So it's not that we're opposed to you coming in and sitting down. That's not it at all. We welcome it. It's just that if they're there, they may be doing business or whatever. All right. Let's see. With Ruth Eckerd Hall, the new Dress Circle Lounge, some of the things that I can tell you is it's going to be a 2-story lounge. It's going to be all glass enclosed. And what we want is for people who are attending the show, all the patrons, to be like, wow, how do I go there? You know, that's what the intent is for the glass enclosure, right? And we tell the members it's so they can see everything that's going on down there. So so anyways, just so you know, there's going to be 2 bars in there. There's going to be 2 entrances. And we haven't ironed out all of those details yet of the entrances are going to be essentially exactly where they were before. So the entrance at what we call the west side will be there pretty much in the same spot, and then the exit out into the lobby is pretty much going to be in the same spot. But we have to iron out some details about manning those. And one of the things we're changing is every Dress Circle member is going to be getting a new card that has a barcode on it, and we're going to be scanning them when they're coming in. And I don't know if that's going to happen November 1st, but we're in the process of creating those cards and getting them all done. You know, so that'll be helpful to everybody. And let's see, we've had a little bit of a problem in terms of development, not you guys at all, in the previous development staff kind of being a little lax and letting tons of people come into the lounge. So we're kind of reining in a little bit on the members. And so the official policy, just so you know it, is that each household that has a Dress Circle membership can bring 6 people, which includes the members. So that's not to say that if someone called ahead of time and said, I'm going to have 8 people this night, that we wouldn't necessarily make an exception. But we have some real habitual offenders, and the other thing that sometimes they do is they send people with their card. So we're going to be cracking down on all of that. So, yes, Sandy?
So they're not allowed, they have to attend, or can they give the card and have 6 of their guests come in?
No, the policy is that the members should be accompanying their guests. So we're working on kind of reining it in. And so our big habitual offenders, we are letting them know. And we may get a little pushback, but we're working on it, okay? So that's just something that we're working towards, the real official policy. Sometimes, if you're a producer member, which is actually within the Circle of Friends, that's the highest level of Circle of Friends, it's $800 annually. They are given 2 one-time passes. 1 pass is for the Ruth Eckerd Hall Dress Circle Lounge, and 1 pass is for the Billheimer Capitol Dress Circle Lounge. We want them to be enticed to see what the Dress Circle is all about, and we want them to then go, I gotta be part of the Dress Circle. So we give them the 2 annual passes. They look very similar to what I've passed around, but sometimes they're a little different color. They may be a turquoise color or something to that effect. Other than that, there's not generally any one-time passes to the lounge. However, that gray area exists, and sometimes if you know, someone has a big problem and the person next to them sang through the whole show and smelled and threw up on them and all that kind of stuff that you guys already have dealt with, and Sandy knows them by first name and has their phone number memorized because she's called them 18 times. By the time they get to us, we're like, oh, we'll let you come to the Dress Circle Lounge on us one more time. So there's an occasion where something like that may happen, but they would get one of those one-time passes. And then the only other thing I've been asked to tell you is...
I have another question.
Yes, Sandy.
So, when are the ushers, do you know yet if they're going to be in charge of collecting these one-time passes?
I think the answer is no. We are going to always have a staff member at the Dress Circle Lounge, so it'll be Kelly, Tim, or myself. I think...
But there's 2 entrances.
Right, and we're still ironing that out, and I think Laura is going to be getting with you about the utilization of an usher, but I don't know those details yet.
Right, because her and I are going to meet after the 12th of October to figure that out, and so I guess she'll let me know
Right.
when they're going to collect the cards.
Right, I think probably the staff member will do all the scanning of the cards and the checking in at one entrance. And I'm guessing, the discussion has been so far, then there'll be an usher at the other entrance, and we'll work together. But I don't know exactly how that's gonna be ironed out just yet. So there's more to come. So with Ruth Eckerd Hall, it's gonna be, you know, unfolding as we go through, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm sure Sandy and the house managers will update you. The other thing is about the spotlight that you all hand out at the end of every show. And Sharon Painter is our corporate sponsor manager, and she asked me to specifically talk about the spotlight. And the importance of it is, obviously, for us, is the sponsorships that are put into each one. And she's working diligently to get more and more put in there with coupons and buy one, get ones, and all that kind of stuff. So she just tried to ask me to reiterate that, just to make sure that they're passed out. Now, I'm sure you're passing them out. I'm not there and I don't see, because as soon as the main act hits, I get to go home. And if anybody asks about them, you know, that you could point out, maybe take a glance at them at the beginning of each month so you can see maybe what sponsors are in them. I don't know. She didn't tell me all that, but, you know, throw them at them. I don't care. No, I don't. Other than that, I bored you to tears, and so I could take questions. Do you have a question?
Yes, and this is really going to sound silly, but is there any consideration given to making the inner pages of the spotlight on a less heavy stock paper? Because those babies are heavy as is, and if you're trying to sell more ads, they're going to get heavier.
Okay, so the question...
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
Right, the question was, is any of the paper maybe going to be of a lighter weight because they're so heavy? And I'm not sure that's ever been taken into consideration, because I'm not part of this, but I will absolutely talk to Sharon for you about that and see. If not, perhaps we could accommodate with some stands or something near the exits. Yes, she asked the minimum to be a Dress Circle member, and that's $1,800 a year. However, if you do it before October 31st, that gets you 18 months. And if any of you would like to write a check, I'll take it. Just kidding. And we add zeros too, if you'd like. No problem. Anybody else have any dying questions about development, Dress Circle? I bored you to tears enough. All right. I wish you all the best year. I've gotten to know some of you a little bit better than others, but it was really a great year last year, and I look forward to working with all of you during the shows. Thank you very much for your time.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brianna Hoskins. Many of you probably know me from the Capitol Theater if you are frequent over there. I'm sorry to say that there might be some unfamiliar faces in here because I don't work at the hall very often. But that's all going to change now. I get to see all of your beautiful faces at all of the shows. After 5 years of being adopted by Sandy and her team, I am now, and crashing all of your end of the year parties, thank you Sandy, I'm now officially a part of the patron services team, as well as security, production, ticketing, the Capitol Theater, and Ruth Eckerd Hall on the road. So I get to see a lot more of it, and I get to come to a party and actually be invited. I actually wanted to, since I just finished over there at the theater, I wanted to give you guys some updates. I know that it can be, for some of you, a little scary to go downtown. It's unknown, you have to find your own parking, it's not, it's not our own property. So I wanted to get some of your questions out of the way down there as things are changing. And then I'm gonna bring up our new theater manager so you guys can get to know her. So first and foremost, Susan already mentioned it, we are now the Nancy and David Bilheimer Capitol Theater. So you guys are gonna start seeing, well, one, over the next couple months, you're gonna see a new beautiful sign out front. So that'll be coming, I'm not sure exactly of the month, probably after the new year, but you'll see, it'll be our same sign, but Nancy and David Bilheimer Capitol Theater. You're gonna hear us start to refer to it as the Bilheimer Capitol, BC, BCT, if you see any of those combinations, so you know what we're talking about. Secondly, if any of you have been down there recently, you'll notice a big patch of grass down there across from us where the harbor view used to be. They are working on at the Imagine Clearwater project. Many of you have, I'm sure many of you have read about it, heard about it. I wish I had more details to give you guys on the timeline, on what's going to be there, but unfortunately it has a lot more to go through. I don't know the exact status of that project. But as soon as we have details, however it's going to affect you guys coming down there to volunteer, we will let you know right away. Right now, as far as parking goes in regard to the harbor view, I still recommend, I know some of you park at the library. I am supposed to tell you that we're not supposed to park at the library. After hours is fine, but if we have an earlier show and they're still in operation, or if they've got a special event going on, usually they'll have a sign out, but if you guys can just please respect, if they've got something going on, that you not park in their areas. Same goes for the Peace Memorial Church parking lot behind us. I'm sure you've noticed they do have their own little A-frame sign that says, church parking only will tow you. So they will. Please don't park in their little, they've got a little lot in the corner of Pierce and Osceola. But if you guys do utilize the utilities parking lot in the back, that's the one that's between Fort Harrison and Osceola. We had a little bit of drama last year with the parking arm. Please don't, if you know the code, I don't even know the code, but if somebody out there knows the code, please don't use it. They have us on camera, and so they will call and yell at myself or the new Capitol Theater manager, Kendra, about it. So if the bar is open, they are welcoming us to use that lot as a public lot. So you guys are welcome to go and park in between where the theater is and the church. So when we refer to the utilities lot, that's the one I'm talking about. Otherwise, the good news is that the City Hall parking lot, which is the one that's directly across from us on Osceola, it's right by the water's edge apartment buildings, that is now free parking. All of the diagonal parking spots, the meters have been taken out. So even if you guys are coming there before, I don't know who comes before 5, but if you are, those are free now. So you don't have to pay a meter for that. So that's exciting. They've opened up a little bit more for us there. So when we refer to City Hall lot, that's what we mean. City Hall is no longer located there, so the name of that lot might change as well. But again, as we get updates, we will let you know. Does anyone have any questions about parking in particular? Because I know that comes up a lot.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are the meters free after 6 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Anywhere downtown, if you guys find a spot, like on the next block down, and you want to park there, if you're coming after 6, which a lot of times you are for an 8 o'clock show, you're welcome to park on the street if you find it. Of course, we use the front for the ballet, so it'd have to be another block, but you're welcome to park there, yeah. So in the utilities lot, she's talking about the strip of parking directly behind the theater. So there's a little alleyway that separates the loading dock and the utility lot. That little strip we like to use for artist parking and VIP, very special circumstances. Sometimes we have artists that come in multiple vehicles, or we'll have to put a tour bus there or something like that. We do like to keep that for our purposes only for backstage. So when I'm talking about your use of the utility lot in the back, I'm talking about that it's a larger square area. It's got the handicap parking available back there as well. It's more parking options back there. It's just the one that's not the long strip right next to the theater. Thank you for that. Any other parking questions? Okay. I think that's all the updates I have for you. So I want to actually bring up our new Capitol Theater manager, who you guys will all get to know a lot more intimately. Her name is Kendra Marl. She has tons of experience, comes to us from the State Theater. We're super excited to have her. Okay.
Hi, everybody. I am super excited at this opportunity. Brianna is leaving some very big shoes to fill over there at the Billheimer Capitol Theater. And I am looking forward to meeting and working with each and every one of you. The structure of this organization and the support has been so impressive, and I am certain I will continue to be impressed and be honored to be a part of the team. Thank you.
If no one has any more questions for us or Capitol Theater, I am going to pass the mic off to our Safety and Security Manager, John Walser.
Hoorah! How are you guys? Man, come on. That's not motivated at all. How are you guys? That's highly motivated. That's what we see at the show. All right. Just first and foremost, I always like to come out. I got to be honest. I'm thankful for your hearts. Okay, I've said it over and over and over. I continue to do it. You know, we're kind of bombarded by social media, news, yada, 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 right? And man, it's a difficult world if we just keep our eyes and focus on that. But we're not supposed to. And I will tell you, you are a gleam of light in what we see in a dark world. Because this is what we're supposed to focus on. When we go to meet our Maker, He's not going to ask how many social media thumbs up we got, how much we're plagued by the local news or the national media, but what did we do in the service of others? And that's what you do. And I will tell you, I hope in all of my heart that we continue to do that. We bring up generation after generation because it's the only thing that's going to change and bring light to a dark world. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I think we do change lives here. You know, our motto is we change lives through performing arts, but the reality is we change lives through the interaction of one patron at a time. And I believe that to my very core. For those who know me, know I'm extremely loud, somewhat obnoxious, but I believe it with all of my heart. I spent the last, I retired from Clearwater Police Department, but I spent the last 10 years in outreach in our urban areas, okay? Outside of the badge, in the North Greenwood, South Greenwood areas, because those change lives. That creates trust, that fosters hope. That's what you do here. That's what you do here for every patron. So before I get into the safety and the security aspect of it, I always want it to be known that myself, my team, we know what you do. All right, and we want to take, not only are we here, but we want to take some of that heart, and I believe it, and if I want my brothers and sisters that I work with to believe it to their core. If they're not being right to a patron, if they're not, think about it. We, for a moment, get to take people out of their lives, out of a sick child, maybe an elderly parent, maybe a spouse that has cancer. We don't know what's going on in their lives. And for 3 hours at a time, we take people out of their life and we give them an opportunity to breathe. Maybe a young couple, just married. And we take them away from that. And we take them away so that they can have maybe a first date night again. Or, just a reprieve. And I will tell you, so I believe that to my very core. I try to tell that to my staff. Majority of them believe that and work that. Every once in a while, we never know what's going on in their life. Maybe they've gotten a little wrinkled. Maybe they've gotten run over by a TFO person. You know, it does happen. All right? Those people can back up in a lane like nobody's business. All right? We're waiting for the second coming of Christ when they come on. You know, oh, come on. So all that to be said, as we know, parking will be the last part that we're going to get developed here. So we know for a fact that we are going to pave in head-in parking. You know, speaking of that, so you guys are actually going to go back to, I know you enjoy, I will tell you, so before Sandy yells at me, I will tell you, I have spent, last year when I put you into the stone parking lot, I think many of you gathered stones and we're going to throw them at me. So we'll not put you in the stone parking lot anymore. We're going to actually move you over to A8, where you'll be going back to. Hopefully, guys are really easy, I gotta be honest, right? So that'll be head-in parking, so we'll bring you in from the top. You guys kind of load in a little early, so we'll bring you in from the top. You'll be diagonally parked in, which means you'll be diagonally moving out as quick as you can. There will only be 2 lanes that will, it's kind of trying to hash it out how you can see it, but those will be the 2 lanes. A7 and A8 will be the ones going around the building. So it'll be the opposite direction to how we have now, and they'll be coming around and out. So you'll be flowing into B lot and directly out. Go ahead. That'll start, believe me, I'm waiting for it too, just as you are, okay? So as soon as you see that the parking lot is paved and we have the head-in parking, we'll be able to design that accordingly. However, before Sandy, if Sandy steps up, it's time to open up the mic, all right? But you guys, as soon as we get done in construction or whatever, and we get ready to move into that deal, for the new season, you'll be moving into A8. As soon as we get out of construction, because that right now is for valet, so it has to remain that way until we can get out of construction, which should be sometime November 1st, in a perfect world, right? It's like a DUI. You ask me how many beers you had tonight, it says 2. So if you ask a construction person how much you got left, 2 weeks. You know, so it's all good. So we're there. They really are moving very quickly though, so I don't want to take any of that away. They've been really diligent, so we appreciate that. So that is coming. So it'll be hopefully in November by that time, we'll be able to do that. But it will not be the head-in parking, okay? It'll still be the regular load-in until that time. Let's see, so that's kind of to set you up for the parking. Also, just to kind of walk through, go ahead, Sandy.
So if they park in A8, that means they'll be going out towards the Murray? Out?
Yes, eventually, they will be going out towards, so you'll be passing the East Cafe around the backside of the Murray eventually. But you guys will know that when the parking lot's repaved.
When we repave, that's gonna happen.
Right, once we repaved and it's all and you see those diagonal spots, you'll know that's the case, because those will be the only diagonal spots that'll be heading in that direction towards the East Cafe to the Murray and around towards the backside, all right? Until that time, it'll be normal loadout, but I will tell you right now, even when we do that, since we are believing that paving will not be the last action, there might be a point where even valet will be moved over to the admin lot, okay, and we'll still be utilizing A8, which you guys will be able to park at, but it will not be paved as of yet. So that is, as you know, the last step. It is very expensive to repave a lot and do those things, so they're going to do it at one shot. So you might even be in the A8 prior to being repaved, so that's just so you understand. Go ahead, Sandy.
So where are dress circle and funded lot members going to be parked?
Okay, so eventually what's going to end up happening with dress circle and funded members, dress circle parks anywhere that like normal parking, but we do have funded members, okay? And usually a show we save 30 spaces for them. Sometimes it's 15, 18, it just depends. They have special permitted parking and they will be going into A1, all right, for the show, and they'll have a little, actually, Danny, is that A1 or A2? A2. So A2, and they'll have a designated area with a security officer that will stand right there, make sure they have their placard, and they will be loading in from the bottom and we'll get them from there.
Because A2 will be now closest to the west lobby entrance.
That's correct. So I will tell you, they will go out first, obviously, but you guys, you get to go out. A7 and A8 will load out much quicker, just so you know, just like B-Lot does.
And so what is going to happen with the old funded life parking in front of administration?
Okay, so for the old funded life parking that's now in admin, okay, which we actually haven't used since we've gone into construction, all of admin and the old funded life will be moved into valet. Okay, that will be where valet is, and there's a reason for that, because they'll come around that circle, they'll do the drop off, valet will pick up their car and go over to admin where that lot is. I know it's kind of hard to imagine until you can see the roundabout and circle, but there's a reason for that. If you remember, okay, if we can backdate pre-construction, we used to always have to compete with valet. They would keep running in there, people get dropped off, valets coming speeding through there. We kind of wanted to move valet as far out to their own little entity as we could, so it would not affect anybody else, especially, as far as we're concerned, pedestrians. Oh my gosh, pedestrians. We want to make sure that our pedestrians, our patrons, and everybody else is safe, so we wanted to kind of put them out on an island of themselves. It will mean much more running for them, but those guys are hardcore, they can handle it. Go ahead.
So what's going to happen with the parking that in front of the East Cafe? Are we still parking patrons there?
Okay, so what will end up happening at the East Cafe, okay, is, how it's diagonal this way now that faces that, I hate that we're going like this and, all that. It will be facing the opposite direction. Hopefully, again, everything is subject to change. We draft it up, bring it up. We've already printed out all the diagrams and everything, brought them to management, and once they do the final Donamiscus, we'll be good, but it'll be the opposite. So we'll still have patrons parking there, so that will go this way, but they will also flood out. So I gotta be honest, if you park an A8, we'll have some other handicap that'll, some of the overflow will go over to East Cafe, they'll float that way, but hopefully we're gonna be a lot smoother, but instead of being diagonal pointing towards the west, it'll be diagonal going towards the east to go around. So they'll be flowing just those two lanes, and that will be flowing out towards B-Lot. We'll have a consistent stream on the way out.
So will there be more handicap in the area of A76 than there is now?
Okay, so right now we have those designated handicap spots, those designated disabled spots. Those will continue to be the designated disabled spots, but they will be obviously repainted to face a different direction so that they'll be going out that way also. Now, as far as the overflow is what you're talking about, we will still use, what we'd like to do is then use A1, lower part of A1, A3, A4, A5, like we do now with TFO, because that'll be close to the west entrance for them. And if we have those who are really special needs, we can put them over at the East Cafe. We'll have buses coming in, obviously, at the East Cafe. They'll come in, they'll drop off right at the East Cafe, and then we'll put them out towards B-Lot. So there's going to be some challenges for us, just so you know.
So upon exit, is there going to be one or two lanes in the back? Is there going to just be one exit lane, or?
Okay, so what's going to end up happening is we will have one designated lane for B, and then as A comes out, they'll take the other lane.
Can you repeat that question, because I am filming it?
No, I was asking if there's going to be two-way traffic behind the.
No, here's what I will tell you. There's going to be two-way traffic up to the back gate because we have to have buses. But during loadout, just like we do now, we will mandate that that's not going to be the case. We'll have security there and it coned off in a direction so that can be the case. So that there's only one way. Yeah, you're not going. No, we don't put anybody in the head-on traffic unless they go to TFO and they like to back up into it.
Is there any way, on previous shows, when we get there are already patrons parking in A8? Is there any way that we can delegate that just for the ushers, like 40 placements?
I need you to repeat the question because I'm filming.
Okay, so we have it. Is there a way that in previous shows you have sometimes patrons and others that park into the Usher location? So she's hoping that Jerry's asking if there'll be a way that we can designate that for ushers only during that time period. And we can look at that, Jerry, as far as maybe gating that up and things like that, prior to that.
All right, we're back, we're live. To answer that question in relations to can we save spots at 8, I don't foresee that as a problem, because once the new entry opens up, everyone's gonna wanna park in 1, 2, 3, and 4, because that's the way we're gonna load it. We're not gonna load in 7 and work back towards 8 anymore, because there's no reason to put everyone in the back door. The front entry's open. So I don't really foresee a problem with when you guys arrive an hour prior to show or more, that you won't have any issues getting into 8. Because unless someone specifically wants to go in the back entrance, they're gonna wanna come in a brand new entrance anyway, with the bar there and everything else. So there's really no reason for them to go to 8.
And just to hit on that, we will load in, okay, like right now we load in from the top. We'll be loading in from the bottom except for those last 2 lanes. Okay, A7 and A8, obviously if it's diagonal, they're gonna be loading in at the top. But we won't load those until after we've loaded everything else in. All right, so that we don't have a cross traffic or an issue. So just to answer that, Jerry. What else we got? All right, Rob, go ahead.
Quick question. Exiting onto McMullen Road, Clearwater Police normally had control of the lights.
That's correct.
Now there's a delay on that control.
All right, no, they still know, just so you know, Clearwater Police, we both have traffic keys also because we were certified to do it. So that kind of works well on our behalf. No, there's still a delay on it, okay? That, believe me, that's not the police office. Here's what happened, all right? This is why we love the city of Clearwater traffic engineering, okay? Police officers, okay, when things don't work like we want them to, we push more and we keep doing it, and then we hit it and it still doesn't work to where we want it, and then we rip it out from the cord. So during construction, we did that several times over, all right? So here's what happened. You had one patron, or not a patron, but you had a citizen, okay, of the city of Clearwater, one individual in a city of 150,000 that apparently had to use the crosswalk. They complained during a show, and traffic engineering took that one complaint, and it has to sit for 45 seconds. Do you know how long 45 seconds is? I bet you do. Because you're counting. Mother 1, mother 2, mother 3. So yes, that's your point. And every police officer that works it is very frustrated. 1, mother 2. So I will tell you, there's big, bold print, because, you know, math for Marines, written right on there. Do not keep pushing button, police officer, and don't yank out of frustration. So I will take, because the only reason I know that is because we run the lights too. Dan and I will run the lights also. So you're like, and every cop goes, are you effing kidding me? What? Who designed? So that's to answer your question. That's the city of traffic engineering we're thankful for. Okay, what we're hoping is that the question is, are diagonal parking, Sandy was getting up, see how quick that was? Man, she'll rip you right off that mic. So the hope is that she's asking the question, will the spots be diagonal in all the parking spots? B lot, we're hoping to remain the same. It'll only be A lot that will be the diagonal spots, okay? And again, everything's subject to change. You know, we're working through this, guys, but that's what we're hoping for. Okay, so if we can do that, we will. I will tell you, we're going to try. So the question is, if math for Marines, I'm a slow learner, hoorah, God takes care of dumb Marines, right? So the deal is, the question is, one time in B lot, the exiting is now one dedicated lane, and will there hopefully be able to be 2 designated lanes to be able to do that? We're hoping to work through all that. Okay, now I will tell you, you guys say that, but B-Lot gets out a lot quicker than any other lane. All right, so anybody who's been here over a period of time, okay, B-Lot gets out quicker than anybody else because it has that dedicated lane. So I don't know if I'd want to mess with that programming. But I will tell you, the hope is again, since 2 lanes of A-Lot are going to come through there, okay, we're going to need to merge that and make another lane in there. But there's going to be further signage, and hopefully, again, you know, stand by, birds are incoming, you know, there's only one more hill left. The hope is that we will have further signage where it says 2 right arrows and 2 left arrows for our patrons exiting Ruth Eckerd Hall. Please understand, both lanes go to the right and both lanes go to the left. Right now they don't understand that, and they all have to merge into one lane or merge into the other, leaving the 2 middle ones vacant. Anything else on parking? Okay, so there's a lot on parking, and man, I promise we're going to work through it. And I appreciate. First and foremost, man, we would have did it this season without you guys. Okay, and man, Rozzy, I will tell you, it beat every one of my ops guys tail off to run that parking lot. They did it, and then Rozzy came as the cleanup and spent probably 8 months out in that parking lot. All right, it does look like a police training pad with all the cones. All right, so you can appreciate that's why we did it. Okay, because we don't fall far from our nature. But we do empty that parking lot within about 17 to 22 minutes, which previously it was 40. So if you guys take a look at that creative loafing, that was one of the things they actually wrote us up about, was how quick we have the parking, and it was never more efficient. So, but again, I wrote the article. So there you go. What'd you have?
I think you guys have done a fabulous job on this circumstance.
Just so you know, we paid her for that comment, so there you go. All right, so I just so we reiterate, and I'm a good steward of your time. All right, we as far as we're getting ready to gear up for our annual training. Okay, so we will have, just like you guys do, we have 2 host nights that we'll do our training for all of our staff here. We have a 3rd makeup night that'll be coming here. So during this downtime, which is not really downtime for us, we run training with 60 guys and gals in that time period, and we run them through everything. All right, ending up the last part of that to be fire evacuations. Okay. So I just want you guys to understand, we are continually changing, operating, moving, and training, all right? And I will tell you, all that's very, very important. It's critical. Life-saving training is very, very important, and we don't play with it, okay? But what you do, that none of the patrons will notice that. What they notice is what you do. What they know, we don't want security to be noted. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be part of the show. We want to be in the backdrop. You know, sometimes if we have to take action, we do. But I want you to understand where my heart is, and I'm going to leave you with that. With two quick stories. All right? No, in reference to what, because it all ties in with you guys. All right? We had, this last year, actually we had it twice, Robert had one also, but we had a patron who came in, elderly gentleman, suffering in his stages of Alzheimer's. As we know, we've all had a relative or something in that, it's just horrible. Anyway, they soiled themselves, they were in the bathroom, we sealed off the bathroom, we worked with house management at that point, and then I called my wife to get clothes, okay? We got a change of clothes, sealed it off, allowed the brother-in-law to go in there to help, help this gentleman keep his dignity. Within 15 minutes, my wife was here with a set of clothes for this person. The wife continually was crying and said, I can't believe, it's just what we do. She couldn't believe it. We got him dressed. It was a pair of sweats. No accounting for taste because we're shopping for him. But anyway, he was able to enjoy the rest of the show. I want you to tell you, she kept trying to get money. Dawn came in as quick as she could with the clothes. He tried to get money. They tried to get money. They then later sent a $500 check, which we gave to Susan, who was then in turn we redirected it to education. Okay? So that's what we do. All right, so we had another individual who, as you know, when we do the shows, it was his wife and himself. She was trying to walk him, had a walker with a seat on it. She's trying to push him from the parking lot in a walker, not a good program. They have little teeny wheels, kind of dumped him into the parking lot myself. We ran out there, got him into the wheelchair that you guys keep towards the front of the house, got him into, worked with house management, I think it was Denise tonight, or Heidi, I don't know, it might have been Heidi, and got him a house seat with his wife, got him out of the wheelchair, into the seat with his wife, said, we'll come get you at the end of the show, you just sit tight. So post-show, we now come back with the wheelchair as everybody's loading out, and as we're helping the gentleman get up, he looks at his wife, grabs her hand, tears are streaming down his eyes, and he says, I love you. And as we get him in the chair, we then now take him out to the vehicle. I want you to understand what happened in that gentleman's life. The realization is that we're no longer mobile. We now need a wheelchair for everything that we do. That part of life has now phased to a different phase in life. And because we were here and we do what we do, we allow him not only to save dignity, but also to feel special. And that's what you do. Not us. We follow your lead. Okay? That's my lovely wife back there. She's always on call, so hoorah to her. Much better than anybody, you know. So that's it. Go ahead. Peppa Pig. We found a lost child. Code. We call it Code Adam. All right, for Adam Walsh. That's Nancy Hoorah, Sergeant Major right there. So, you know, but we did. Again, you guys are the eyes and the ears. Remember the old Bush saying after 9/11? See something, say something. You see it disorderly before it escalates, we want to know about it. You see a lost child, we want to know about it. Things like that, we don't exist without you. We are a synergistic relationship with our Usher staff, hands down. Okay? We work like this. Because if we don't, then we don't exist. So thank you very much. Hoorah!
The house managers are going around and passing out the welcome back Usher info sheet. I need it completed. I know we have this information on the computer, but I'd like to keep it in your file. Remember to initial the first page at the bottom that you understand as we do every year. And then the Usher manual statement, speaking about the Usher manual, go ahead and sign it anyway, because you know our policies and procedures. The revised Usher manual will be coming out the latest January of 2020. We're creating the new positions in the new construction area, and we'll be revising it, and as soon as it's revised and posted on TVP, Kathleen will be sending out an email. This is your check-in, so please make sure we get this back so that we know you were present today. At the end of the reorientation, you can hand these to a house manager, and then they will hand you a end of season ticket letter that you get. Please do not take it if you were not active for 2018, 2019 season. The letter is only for ushers who were active last season, okay? All right, now I asked Walter to talk about evacuation, and he gets into stories, and we all love his stories. So he did forget to mention that Post-construction, once we open, I just remembered what else I wanted to tell you. Post-construction, we will be going back to the same way that we were evacuating previously. So portals 9 and 10 will go up and out. Portals 1 through 7 will come down and out. Everybody remembers that, right? All right, so we're going right back to that system. So if you're working portals 9 and up, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we expect ushers to kind of sort of block the stairway and telling patrons that that's the quickest way to the parking lot. If any patrons go past you, go ahead and let them, but you're kind of directing everyone up and out. I had someone ask me if once we redo the auditorium, if we are going to put aisles in the seating area. And that's never going to happen. And we have continental seating because, and the fire marshal absolutely loves us because we can evacuate within 5 minutes, the auditorium. We either go one way or the other way. You know, if we have aisles, you're gonna have people just trying to get out each way they can, and that will just take it, you know, longer to evacuate. All right, so Susan spoke about the west, all the new entrances. So the west lobby entrance, I believe is going to be called the cabaret entrance, no longer the west lobby entrance. And all of this is going to be listed in your Usher manual once it's revised. The east lobby entrance is going to be called the pavilion entrance. And formerly Freedom Boat Landing, East Cafe, and whatever she said, that's going to be called the music pavilion. Okay, so just like we do with the Capitol, we have the grand lobby, we have the front lobby. This is how we're going to start calling these areas. West lobby cabaret entrance, east lobby pavilion entrance, and the East Cafe will be the music pavilion. So there will be new positions added once we reopen the new cabaret lobby. Therefore, we will most likely be needing more ushers to work at Ruth Eckerd as in the past, so there will be added positions. I don't think you really need to be worried about training in these new positions because basically we're going just to have extra lobby directionals in that area. We'll be scanning just like we do on the east side and just like we've done in the past. We're going to scan, we're going to become a no re-entry, and I'll talk about that later. We'll be scanning on the west side. The mags, from what I understand, will be inside the building, right inside the doors. And then on the east side, we're going to block where Tobacco Beach is, where you normally now check in. That gate will be closed. And to the right of the pavilion entrance, I guess I gotta start naming that too, will be where people can come in like we did in the past. Okay, there'll be a mag there for people to come in. So as far as training the new positions, I wouldn't worry about it. Walter did tell you about getting your parking A8 back. You'll come up the southwest entrance like you did before. You'll initial that you're checking in, you'll go into the usher room, you're getting your usher room back. And then you will wait for your house manager to come and give you the briefing. Please remember to always make sure the usher room door is shut and locked at all times, since some ushers bring in their belongings and we don't want anything to go missing. This is still happening. So people are going into your little closet now and leaving it open. So we really need you to, if you're the last one in the usher room, shut the door and make sure it's locked. I don't remember if that lock is still there with the code 254 enter, but no worries, Kathleen will send you an email if that has changed. It's there? Okay. I think we'll leave it at 254 enter. I don't think patrons know that combination, so. All right, the West Gallery will be keeping the dress circle furniture that it is there now. Susan would like to keep that on the other side of the elevator. So all that is going, I'm trying to tell you all the things to expect when you come. So that furniture, for now, she wants to keep it there. So that will remain there. I know I'm skipping around, but, and let me just keep going. All right, uniforms. So, we are getting new tunics, okay? The tunics will be worn at all of our venues, here, Capitol, and at the Murray. They're all gonna be the same. You're going to, it's just a tunic like you have now, the green tunics, with no logo, all right? The colors are going to be gray for the ushers and silver for the head ushers. The only difference is that the head ushers are now going to begin wearing all black underneath, okay? The reason why is since the gray and the silver is very close in color, being that, if you need to direct a patron to a head usher, it'll be easier for you to say the head usher all in black and gray. Okay, so that it can be distinguished between you and a head usher. Ties will be also worn at all 3 venues. I've asked you to purchase a tie, and and another thing, I did not pick the color of the tunics, and I did not pick the tie. Just letting you know, the new CEO picked the colors and the color of the tie. So the ties that I made you buy are no longer going to be. But wait a minute. Okay, so because I made you buy those ties, I am going to replace them. Okay? These ties are 100% silk, and they are $12.50 each. So it's a big difference from what you paid of the ties I had you buy than these, okay? I will replace yours, but any new ushers coming in will have to purchase a new tie. No, they're not clip-ons. I was going to order clip-ons, but a lot of you told me that they start getting loose and they don't clip on anymore. So I went ahead and ordered you what you're wearing now, with the round, the old-fashioned way or whatever. Okay? The colors of the ties are like a blue, silver, yellow type of tie. I didn't order them. I mean, I ordered them, but I didn't pick them. So, they're beautiful. They really are. They kind of go with the decor. Yes, Bruce? I'll let you know in a minute. Yes, Carol?
Understanding, if we order and have 2 of the ties, can we get 2?
No, I'm only replacing 1 tie. As it is, I had to order 350 ties, right? Because I had to order for the new ones coming in, and I was only allowed to order in 100 units. So you do the math. 350 times 1250. A lot. We have to dish out a lot of money. Okay? So that's why I said I made them buy those ties, I'm replacing them. Okay? You're welcome. Bruce asked, when do you start wearing the ties? So I ordered them, they're on order. I'm hoping to get the tunics and the ties by November 1st, so that you can start wearing them at Roy Orbison, November 2nd. Now, November 1st is our kind of grand opening, and some of the ushers asked, and some of my staff asked if they were invited. And the answer to that is no, because it is a fundraiser. So it's $450 a ticket. So if you want to come, that's what it is. And everybody back there, $450 a ticket. There you go. Yes, questions?
We all purchase everything. Do we have an opportunity to purchase one of these new tunics?
The question is, can you purchase a tunic? And the answer to that is no. And the reason why is because I will have, you know, the loaners, right? The thing. And then if I let you buy a tunic, how do I know that Marcia is not going to take one home and said she bought it? Okay, I can't control it. So the answer to purchasing tunics is no. Yes? No, the ties belong to you. Only your neck is going to wear that tie. Yeah, well, how do you pick them up? You're going to pick, you know, when you first come to work, hopefully they'll be here. If they're not, you're going to just wear your shirt open until we get them. And, you know, I'm hoping that everything is going to be here by November 1st. Okay? Yes? No, the tunics will not, the green tunics that you're wearing here, that's exactly what they look like. Exactly the same material with the piping on the side with no logo. Okay? So they won't have pockets. Sorry. Go ahead.
I may be the only one with this problem, but my blouse that I cut in top, my neck is smaller than the rest of me is. And when I use I bought 3 and I'm up and died. But when I use the little hook and eye like they have, it gathers up my collar. It looks like a pleated skirt. And so I bought some little clip-on thingy and, you know, redid mine.
Yeah, if you want to redo it and put the clips in, you're more than welcome to do that.
Sandy, could you repeat?
Yes, okay, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Repeat the question, I didn't hear that.
Thank you, Kathleen. The question was, can you make your tie into clips if you want to? And the answer is yes, because you're the ones who are wearing them. To your spotlight comment earlier, I think the spotlights are half as light than the ovations that we used to hand out. So I don't think they're going to get any lighter than that. Some of you who have been with me for many, many years remember the ovations that had the whole month and the whole history of every show and where they came from and how long they're playing for the whole month. So our ovations were nice and thick. And that's why it says there that you are able to lift 30 pounds, which you really don't because you and your partner lift, right? Okay. Yes, Sandy.
I really had brought it up because my husband was a printer, and I mean, I know that the cost of the paper is a large part of producing it.
Right.
And like I said, the cover can be hard, you know,
Right.
but if they're gonna push even more in it.
Okay, so she's talking about the weight of the paper, which is true. They could go lighter and cheaper. So Emily will take care of that, but most likely I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, thank you, Sandy. Any other questions? Yes, Ray?
Can I have my green one?
Ray, if you really want your green one, you can have your green one. He wants to know if he can have his green tunic. I think I'll raffle them away or something. First come, first serve. Whoever wants the green tunic. How about that? Okay. Any other questions regarding tunics? Yes, Rich?
Beginning in November, how can I pick up the,
Fine. So the question is, Kathleen, if he's working the Capitol in November, how does he pick up the tie? Good question. We will have ties there, and the house manager will have a spreadsheet on the computer, which can be used here and there, and will mark you that you received your tie. That's a good answer. Oh boy, yes, Rich.
I don't know where Ray's gonna wear the green.
The question is, where is Ray going to wear the green tunic? Well, I was going to be graphic, but I decided not to. He may choose to wear it to Halloween. All right, moving on. Any other questions regarding the tunics? They're beautiful. They're plain, beautiful. They go down. They hide. They'll be you know. I'll be washing them, and that's it. Yes.
Cindy, are we also going to have the same tunics at the Murray?
Correct. The question is, are they going to have the same tunics at the Murray? Yes, at the Capitol, at the Murray, and at Ruth Eckerd Hall. All three venues, same uniform. Boom. I'm not sure how that blue is going to fit at the Capitol, at the Billheimer Capitol, but I didn't pick it. All right. So I told you about the Usher manual being revised. Hopefully it'll be done before January, but I'm just giving us some time to, because it's when it starts to get crazy, it's just, there's no time. Ticket office hours, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's been like that since I've been here, 20 years, almost. All right, I want to talk about the difference. I think there was a little confusion this season, and I don't blame you because I was confused, and I think my house managers were confused. So, what is the difference between a pre-show party and a pre-show dinner? Okay, so pre-show party, which is still going to exist, is in the Dimmet with hors d'oeuvres and whatever. That's $25, I think now, or it has been 25. And then I'm not sure. I know the dinners used to be 25. So the dinners will be limited. There's only certain shows that will have pre-show dinners in this room. Okay, they may spill out to the West Gallery, the pre-show dinner. But during season, this room gets very busy. So they did hold for pre-show dinners for a few shows. So it's not going to be a constant like it was last season or the season before, okay? And this kind of information will be given to you at the Usher meetings, especially if there's a pre-show dinner and a pre-show party going on at the same time. You will, the house manager will let you know that night what's going on and where, so you know where to send people, okay? Any questions on that? Okay. Staff and volunteers are not eligible to participate in any audience participating performances such as Price is Right, Family Feud, etc. Okay? Even if you purchase a ticket, we're not eligible to participate. And now there's some bachelor thing happening, and I forget when. You know, like The Bachelor. So,
Too bad,
yeah, you
right?
can't come and look for your husband or wife here. We're not eligible for that, so. Also, please remember when attending a show with an Usher comp ticket that have show programs, not to be confused with our spotlights. I'm talking about show programs. Please do not take a show program since we order enough show programs for paid admissions and will not have enough to distribute to you. So it's an Usher comp. Please leave the programs for the paying customers, okay? Spotlights will continue to be handed out post-show on the way out, so please make sure you have your stack in hand and ready to do so when working any lobby door. I like the idea of what Emily said. Hope maybe we can get stands by the door and have those stocked for you. Not really so much as the West Lobby, we won't, I don't know if we're gonna have room for them. I'm just trying to think if at the end of the show, what do we do, not this season, but last season? Because we're not allowing anybody in Southeast and Southwest anymore. Once we reopen, we're going back to the old system. So that you will not be scanning in Southwest and Southeast anymore. You'll just be standing there guarding and making sure that nobody comes in or out. If they go out, they're not coming back in, okay? At the end of the show, did we let people out? But we have to wait for security to be there. Okay, so you'll be handing, there we could probably put the stackables for you and load them there, but on the west side, I don't think we're gonna be able to, or the east side. Yes?
What about the people that are coming for the pre-show party? If you're not gonna be allowing someone at the south?
She's asking, what are we gonna do about the pre-show parties? What do we do with the season? No, that was this past season. What do we do this season, 17, 18? They came in through East Cafe? Well, Great Room, they're gonna have their own entrance. So Great Room, if it's a pre-show dinner, they're gonna come in through here. I'm assuming that the pre-show party are gonna have to come in through the west side or the east side and then find themselves going up there. I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Oftentimes the theater is closed where they can't get to the divot from that point.
She's saying often it's closed. I don't think we ever were involved in that. I think security took care of that.
Can you tell us where there's smoking areas?
Okay, so she's asking where the new smoking area will be. So it will still be in Tobacco Beach until the music pavilion gets shut down for renovation. Once the music pavilion gets shut down, because the England family, they want smoke-free. It was a couple of years that there we had smoking in the ramps only, and we're going to do that again. When that happens, at the bottom of the ramp, there will be barricades and a security there not to allow anybody out when that happens. Okay? That's a good question. Any other questions? Yes, Rich?
With the spotlights, we're handing out spotlights at the end of the month for like August and September. When the patrons look at that, they're pitching it outside as soon as they leave.
Okay, he's telling me of the spotlights, how you're handing out at the end of the month for August and September. And he's asking me then, it's the same comment that I had before about the pre-show party, which I'm not going to mention again. Okay, here's why I say that. I mean, that doesn't fall under me. I have 300 of you, I have 7 house managers, I have 5 auctioneers, I've got 30 head ushers. I can't be worried about that. There's people in this building that is in charge of that. We just do whatever they ask us to do. We abide.
We could save Ruth Eckerd some money though.
We could save some of the, you know what? Sharon Painter is her name. Tomorrow, you give her a call and you will chat about it. Have a discussion, and then when Sharon comes to me and says, you do this, we're gonna do it, and that's it. So it's Sharon Painter, Development, you call her tomorrow. Let me know how it goes. It's too, there's marketing, there's development, I can't. We do what they ask us, sure. Could the ushers do that? Absolutely, we'd love to. That's it. Hold on. Jim.
As of November 1st, where is will call and ticketing going to be if somebody comes and asks that?
That's a very good question. Okay, the question is, Kathleen, after November 1st, where are people going to come for will call and purchase their tickets? Right back to the old ticket office, which is going to be new ticket office, okay? Same exact place, right where it is. It might look a little different. I think I really don't know what the new construction looks like, so I haven't really been in there. I understand that after October 12th, the creative contractors is giving us the building, so then we could go in and assess, and we can create positions and do whatever we have to do. So the ticket office will still be in the old place, looking a little different, remodeled, and that's where it's going to be. Right now, it's a little bit crazy because while they're remodeling the ticket office, they're selling tickets out of the trailer. So the trailer is open now, and that's where you purchase tickets. And so we do have a security out there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. As people come down the road, they ask them if they're buying tickets, then they direct them to the, they call it the party box. The party box. I've never been in there, so I don't know what, probably have parties. Any other questions? Yes. Two-part question, 2 parts.
So we're not having people enter up the ramps to come in. Are we still going to direct them to leave the ramps?
Yes, so the question is, we're not letting them enter, we're going to let them leave, yes. We're also going to let them smoke when that time comes. Okay, I don't know, you know, that's gonna take, that's another phase, that's phase 89.
Because we encourage them to go to those grants and leave, I know a couple weeks ago there was a problem because somebody had wanted to shop and they were herded out the doors, and then of course you're not allowed to come back in after you leave, and they had wanted to go purchase merchandise.
The question is, or it's a comment, somebody, who hurdled them out?
Well, you know, when the people on the upper levels come.
Well, I don't know about that, you know. So the patron got hurdled out through the Southwest and then he wanted to come buy a t-shirt. He probably decided that, or she decided that once she was out. Because if I want to buy a t-shirt, nobody's going to hurdle me out anywhere. Well, there should be a no re-entry on Southeast, Southwest, right, head ushers? Yes. Okay, thank you. Yes, Tony?
You never mentioned where the smoking areas on the west side. Where is that?
There is none. Wait, let me get to the here. The next one is no re-entry. Once we reopen, we will again become a no re-entry facility. If a patron ever requests the need to go to their car or leave the building for any reason, your response should be, I'm sorry, but we have a no re-entry policy. If the patron persists and insists, please send them to a head usher to handle. Okay? So when somebody says to you, I have my medicine in the car, your answer is, I'm sorry, this is a no re-entry. But if I don't take these pills, I'm going to die. So you're going to say, the head usher in black and gray will help you. Give it to them. Yes, Jerry? Oh. We will discuss that at the head usher meeting. Only have one entry point when we open, and no one will be able to exit once they cross that security line, as we did in 17 and 18 season, and previous to that, okay? So you know where I'm talking about, right? Where now the party boxes, and then they all start coming down. That's gonna be secured with one mag or two mags there. That's the entry point. Once they enter, that's it. There's no going out. All right? Now we're allowing them to come in and out because A, they're parked so far, we know they're not going to walk back to their car, okay? And B, they're going through security again, okay? But that's all going to stop. And the reason why we did allow that to happen was because of the smokers, or the people that were used to freely go in and out of the Freedom Boat Landing, and we couldn't tell them now, once you're in, you can't go out and smoke anymore. So that's why we allowed that freedom. Back in the day when I first started, and for several years after that, we did not have a no re-entry policy. So what would happen is people would go to their cars and smoke pot or do whatever drug they did, or drink a half a bottle of tequila, and then would come back in and would become a big problem. I mean, Walser has it really good. I mean, I saw people being tased, I saw somebody, a patron throw a sneaker at a police officer. I mean, they were crazy. And Tom Culhane and I always begged, can we have a no re-entry? Can we have a no re-entry? Because they would go to their car and who knows what happened there. And then it became our problem. So since that stopped, you know, there's none of that going on anymore, you know? So we're happy about that. I remember one quick story. A patron in Portal 3, this was years and years ago, I forgot what show it was. she was, I think, being disorderly. I don't know what she was doing. So I went there and I asked her to come out of portal 3. And I asked her not to be, not to talk loud. She was disturbing people. And she said that I could go F myself. Just like that. In my face. And I said, that's your ticket out of here. Security come in, boom, she was out. I mean, there's no reason for abuse, right? So, but being, that's what I'm saying. They used to go to their car and have, whatever they did. I don't know. Any questions before I go on? Okay, so I told you we will not be scanning in southeast, southwest gallery doors anymore. The ushers assigned to those doors will be guarding them only to make sure no one enters or exits through those doors. And you probably want to warn people if they go out those doors, unless it's a smoking thing, that they're not coming back in. Unless it happens when smoking, starting there.
Is smoking for only an intermission?
No. Is smoking only for intermission? No. You cannot tell someone who is drinking and is used to smoking that they can't smoke.
I didn't know if there would be security there at all times.
Yes, there will be. If we're allowing them out to smoke, there will be security there because we're on no re-entry, okay? When working a lobby door post-show, this is very important. Please assist security and make sure no one re-enters the building through your door. If someone happens to slip by, please notify security immediately since they will be close by. This is very important. When somebody walks out your door, you are guarding that door and making sure that that person doesn't come back in, okay? And if they do, you yell out, security, loud, and point, okay? This is how trouble happens when people leave and go to their car and get shotguns or whatever they get, and they come back in and they kill us all, okay? So let's stay alive. Let's keep our eyes sharp and do not allow anybody to come into your door, back in, okay? Security is supposed to do that, but they're also looking at other things. So, I mean, look how many eyes and ears we have versus, I don't know how many he staffs for a show, maybe 20 versus 50 of us, okay? Yes?
Are you going to only have one door open at each entryway like it was before? Or are you going to open all?
I would like, the question, Kathleen, the question is, will we just open the one door as they exit? I would like it to be like that because you cannot control when the two, and so I think we were doing that and I think we're going to go back to it, okay? Because that's the only way to control that. Where you actually stand at the closed door so that they don't push it open. Everybody got that, remember? Okay, cool. All right, when we reopen portal doors, we'll go back to open 30 minutes prior to show time with the ringing of the 2 bells. So that's going to go back. We've only requested that from the artists because of construction, and most of them abided and obliged, and so we were able to do that. But it will go back to the 30 minutes. At that time, we'll be able to leave one portal door open after we hear the 2 bells. So I don't see why not from now on, from November 1st on, both sides, once the 2 bells ring, you can leave just the one door open on both sides, okay? The reason why I'm saying that is because now the entryway is so far from the portals that shouldn't affect AC or anything like that, okay? So that's a good thing for you guys, because it's a pain to kind of have that door closed, okay? We're not doing that now, we're doing that after we reopen, okay? At intermission, we will continue opening both portal doors to let the majority of the people out, and then, this was a good thing somebody told me, please only keep the one door closest to heaven open. All right? Because people are confused. Do I do the lower door? Do I do the... So the door closest to heaven or to the sky, that's the door you'll keep open. I've walked, you know, you see me walk around and walk around and walk around, and a lot of you continue to leave both of those doors open. I don't know why. Yes, Dan?
One comment.
Yes, sir?
On Portal 6,
Yes.
for the last 8 months, the heavens door, when you open it and then go to close it, it sounds like a shotgun. And it's not, I've reported it like 4 times, and it still does, and it did last night. So
The door closest to the sky? Okay, portal 6, closest to the heaven. The outer door, okay. I will now personally check it myself and bring someone with me that will fix it. Okay. Yes?
Portal 10 also has that element.
Portal 10. Portal 6 and Portal 10. You are our eyes and ears. There's so many eyes and ears working a show, whether it's here at the Billheimer Capitol or at the Murray. If you see anything that's dirty, broken, if you see a seat that looks horrible, whatever, please report it, okay? Because we can't see it all. So once you see it, just tell your house manager, they'll report it and it'll get done. Unfortunately, maybe this issue here, 6 and 10, there's something more to that issue. So I'm going to find out and I'll get it done, okay? Any other questions? Yes, Sandy?
First term working here, I thought I remember being told that if you're working at the lobby doors or the main doors, whatever, when everybody's leaving the theater, if they're gonna walk through with a half a glass of wine or something, I always tell them, I'll take that for you, or, would you like to finish that before you leave, so that they don't exit with alcohol. Is that still?
All right, so her question is, do we allow patrons to exit the building with alcohol? No. Correct. We do not. Okay? Security should be doing that, but again, if they're looking at something else, you can say, I'm sorry, you cannot leave the building with that drink. Okay? Yes?
Will there be any additional seating in the lobby for patrons before the doors are open?
Yeah, in the Grand Concourse, the question is, will there be additional seating in the new construction area? Well, we're going to have a cabaret theater in the, what do you call it? No, it's not called pavilion, it's called a cabaret entrance. So we're gonna have a little cabaret, there's gonna be tables and chairs there. From what I understand, they're trying to get Frenchies and Clear Sky, because there's a kitchen downstairs in the new cabaret entrance. Yeah, there's a kitchen, and I think they're trying to get Frenchies and Clear Sky to come in and make their signature dishes that are available to patrons. I think that's what's happening. I heard that through the grapevine, so I think that's what's happening. The Grand Concourse, Phase 97, will have. Well, now that I know they ordered new benches for the Grand Concourse, but I understand at TFO we had some patrons that, because we took them all away because they're green, but they're back now because several patrons at TFO, right, Robert? They wanted to sit, so I think they brought them back. I know new benches are going to be brought back, and also Phase 97. you know, the black tile? So that's really wasted space. So we're gonna build wall benches there throughout the whole, we're gonna eliminate the black tile, and then they're gonna put, so that's when the bathrooms are gonna be happening, when we remodel the bathrooms, and then we'll have the black, you know, so there'll be plenty of seating in the grand concourse. And as far as additional seating other than the cabaret, I'm not sure, because I don't know. Any questions? Okay. Anytime you have a seating issue and the lights go down in the auditorium, please, please, please never tell a patron, just sit here in an empty seat. Because 9 out of 10 times, those patrons are gonna show up. And now, you're getting the new patrons upset because somebody's sitting in their seat. Now the other patrons, you're gonna have to get them up. So it's never a good idea to see any patrons just sit here for now. This is not good customer service, okay? Have them wait at your portal, step out and get a head usher and say, we have I have an issue with the seating, okay? It would be good if you can collect their tickets, because in the meantime, the head usher can be calling to see, you know, where their seats are, what, you know, start attempting to find out what the problem is, okay? But now you understand when you say just sit here, you think you're doing them a favor, but I'm telling you, once you tell them to sit there, the other patrons will be coming in, okay? So please don't do that. All right, applause. So we had some going back and forth on applause. I was in the theater watching a show, I don't remember what show it was, but everybody's eyes, it was a slow song, it was sort of like a ballad. And all the eyes were, you know, everybody was into this song and all the patrons were looking. And an usher in Portal 3, latecomers came in, and she just took them to the thing and made, you know, disrupted that whole row from looking at the show. I need you guys to use your common sense, okay? The rule is hold them. If you're vibrating at the portals, then you know you can let them go in and out. If you're completely vibrating, you know you don't have to hold that applause. But if it's a song or a comedian trying to tell a joke or whatever, you gotta, why do other people have to pay for people that came in late? Okay? This usher, the whole row, because of course they were in the middle of the row, so everybody got, so it's disrespectful to the patrons and to the artists on stage, right? So please use your common sense when it comes to holding an applause, okay? Thank you. Now, flashlights. So I don't know if you guys realize, I don't think you realize, but you're checking a ticket, right? You're checking a ticket, so you have your ticket is there, and your flashlight is going up and down, and it's killing people in their eyes, you know? And flashlights should be just always down, okay? Please realize that. And sometimes you may not, because the lights are down, you're trying to look at the thing, but the flashlight's going like this and it's disrupting other people. Sandy, right?
Microphone.
Who didn't hear that? So I gave the example of holding a ticket. Try to always hold your flashlight down and really close to the ticket, Don't do, because you're disrupting people, okay? Also, I don't know who changed the policy, maybe my house managers or my head usher, but I didn't change the policy. You do not stand at a portal and see somebody coming out and flash from here. I don't know who changed that policy. I didn't. The policy is you walk to the portal and you don't turn on your flashlight until it's pointing to the floor. Okay? I don't know who changed that policy that you're now pointing when you see somebody come out from the portal. I don't know who changed that policy, but that's not the correct way. Okay? You don't turn it on until you reach the aisle and you point it down, okay? That's also disturbing to the patron when you do that. Yes, Tony.
I think the problem with some of these flashlights is that they're like 300,000 LED lumens. I mean, you get blinded just even pointing it down on the floor.
Right, and that makes sense too. Can you just go to the dollar store and get like the cheapest flashlight? Please, don't buy $20 flashlights because it's blinding people in the eyes. It's really killing the show, okay? Yes, Carol?
Sandy, a lot of ushers I've noticed also take that flashlight, they light it at the right time in the right place, but then they follow it out to the door after people. We're not supposed to do that, are we?
I don't know. I don't think that's necessary because aren't there lights in the question is, or the comment is, she's seen ushers follow them out to that is disruptive too. I think the stairs have their own lights, don't they? The portal stairs have their lights. All right, please go and get a flashlights at the dollar store, please. So I just want you guys to be, mindful of your flashlights. And really, honestly, if you have super duper 30 LED or whatever Tony said, please don't use them, okay? We've gotten a lot of complaints about the ushers and their flashlights. Okay? Due to heavy programming in the months of December, February, March, we will often have one usher to a portal. So we are going back to that. If there are 54 shows in the month of February, which it has been a standard these past 2 or 3 years, I am not going to ask for a full set of ushers here, of 50, okay? I will ask just enough to get by because I need you in other spots. Same thing as at the Billheimer. I'm not going to ask for 20 ushers. I'm going to ask for 13 because I think the house managers can work with 13 of you. So here, I will do one usher to a portal, which should not make a difference to you, okay? Number one, if you are one usher to a portal, we will stanchion off the portals and have you on break up in the usher room for 25 minutes, right? So if a show, if we open doors at 7 and the portal doors at 7:30, you can be in the usher room from 7 to 7:25 and then come to your portal at 7:24. It'll take you a minute to walk to your portal to 7:25. If we need you sooner, the head usher will come and get you, okay? So, and then after that, 1 and 3 will break, 5, just like you break with your other directional, you'll break the same way. 1 and 3 will break, 5 and 7 will break, 9 and 11 will break, and typically the house manager will have southwest break with 13, southeast, break with 14. If that's not possible, they will assign someone to grade you. I've heard through the grapevine that you're disgusted because it's went to a portal and you're doomed. I don't see what the difference is. It's not like you're giving out programs and you're seating people. It's the same exact thing. Once you're there and we open portals, you go inside and you start seating people. And then once the show starts, you've already talked to your partner in 3, if you're in 1, or if you're in 5 and 7, you guys already chatted. Who's gonna be the first 20 minutes? Who's gonna go the second 20 minutes? Am I making any sense? There's no difference. I don't understand why I had heard that the ushers were all upset and they were gonna quit because now they have to work double as hard. I don't understand that. Did anybody hear that? No. Correct, but that's not, there's, Mary said there won't be someone standing in each portal. That is correct. We'll have someone in every other portal, but that's what is okay. That's okay. Yes, Sandy?
The only real issue I've ever had in that scenario is either A, when you work at one of the portals that have the handicap accesses, you can get tied up with somebody real easily. And the other part is if there's an issue, getting a head usher, because there's nobody else at that building.
Okay, so her comment was the 5 and 6. So house managers, let's see if we can double. I'll tell Kathleen to add an extra usher so that there could be 2 at 5 and 6. Because well, no, not 5, just 6. Sorry, 5 we don't need. 3 and 6, right? 14, do we really need 14? There's hardly any. Well, okay, well, I mean, if there's 1,200 people, I'm not gonna put 2 people at 14. So, there was another thought about that. Okay, so I just want you to understand that I need to do that because if not, I won't, the show must go on. And honestly, there were that many shows in February, okay? And I need to spread you apart. I want you to have a break. I am the first one who wants you to have a break, okay? I would not ever neglect that. I will watch over you. So there's no really difference, except for Sandy said it's hard for to find a head to be able to get a head usher. If you're at one to a portal and you really need to get a head usher, I'm okay with you stepping away to get a head usher. We have to work these shows. Okay? Yes, Nancy.
I did the math. The alternative is a 9-show commitment for that month from
Oh, I am not going to tell you what Nancy said. No. Who had a question back here? Yes. Statement. Okay, so the statement is, are we checking tickets or are they already in with their tickets? So you are in portal 7. And it's one to a portal, the bell rings, you are now inside. Anybody who comes to that one open door, you're gonna check right there, right? If they're in portal 7. If they're not in portal 7, you're gonna send them out to their portal. You gotta know that you are the leaders to patrons. They will do what you tell them to do. Is that not not true? I mean, when I go somewhere to a concert and the usher says, you go there, I go there. I listen to ushers. I mean, I don't understand. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so she's saying, you know, what happens when it's busy? Well, if you see them that they're going to their seat, right? You're kind of keeping an eye on them and they're going to their seat, they're going to the right place.
Well, there's also 15, 20, 30, and, there's a lot going on at
Right. Well, that's why I only want one door open. If a problem happens, have them go to the side. And I think that head ushers and house managers will have to step in when we do one usher to a portal. Like walking up and down inside the auditorium if they have problems. Okay? Oh, one more statement. House manager. Yeah, we'll discuss this. That's a good point. I like that. Okay, so I understand where they're coming from. So I guess we should appoint a head usher when we do have one usher to a portal to stay and go in and up and down in the auditorium and help them. Okay? Yes, Dan? Statement.
The busiest one usher per portal is like when the lights go down, the show starts, for like the first 5 minutes, if you start breaking, if the portal 1 breaks and the guy at 3 is handling 1 and 3, and people are coming in, to handle both doors at the same time with people coming
Right.
in. 5 minutes, so it's like a dead of the same. We have 1 portal.
Okay, one usher to a portal, you should stay in for at least 5 minutes to be able to seat latecomers before you take a break. That's very good common sense and excellent customer service. Thank you. Anybody else? All right, let's keep going. Opportunities in TVP. Just a reminder to check TVP regularly. Because if you, especially during season, if there's a show that you picked and you really wanted and it was full, I would check TVP every day because there are cancellations and that show may come open and then you could jump on it. So I would definitely check TVP periodically. ADA parking spots. If you ever get a complaint regarding us not having enough handicap parking spaces, your response should always be, Ruth Eckerd Hall complies with the ADA laws and has the appropriate number of handicap parking spaces to accommodate our patrons. And that's the bottom line, okay? We have enough spaces and we comply with the ADA law, because if not, they'll shut us down. So, as nice as you can be and with a smile on your face, just say, I understand, but Ruth Eckerd Hall complies with the ADA laws and we do have enough handicap parking for our facilities, okay? Another thing, handicap parking spaces, okay, never touch a child or a patron. This falls under the ADA law. Never touch a child or a patron, okay? If you're working adults at leisure or you happen to see someone that maybe is going to trip and fall, you can extend your elbow, okay? If they grab your elbow, but don't go grab them, all right? Extend your elbow. Never touch a patron or a student. Let's see. Never touch, okay, if you feel a patron may need special assistance, you may extend your elbow. Ushers are not obliged to push a wheelchair. I get this question all the time, okay? You are not obligated to push a patron in a wheelchair. If you choose to, you may, but you are not required to do so, okay? Service dogs. If a patron has an animal escort or service dog to a show and happens to not have and the pet does not have a legitimate vest or anything visible that identifies the pet as a service dog, we are never, ever permitted to ask for any credentials for the pet or discuss it with the patron. I heard that an usher, there was a dog recently, and an usher was kind of upset or, mad that the dog didn't have a vest or anything. That we cannot ask, or if they don't have a service vest, we cannot ask anything, okay? We're going to try to accommodate. Some of the ushers do, if it's a bigger dog and they see their tickets are in R78 and they know that it's, they're kind of sort of in the middle of the row, they might want to tell a head usher to see if we can accommodate the patron and the dog to be in a better seat to be comfortable. Yes, we can do that. You can ask the patron, I see that you're in almost the middle of the row. Would you like for me to call a head usher or house manager to see if we can accommodate you and your service dog to have a better, to have better seating and more comfortable? Yes, ma'am?
Where is a larger dog supposed to be in the auditorium? Is it under the seat or is it in the aisle in front of
The service dog, she asked where the service dog should be. It should go under the seat. Well, that's why if an usher, if you have this German Shepherd who's a service dog, and you see that their seat is not going to be comfortable for the service dog, that's when you say, if you wish, I can call, you ask the patron, he's going to be maybe a little uncomfortable. Let me call the head usher and see if we can find a better location so that the service dog can, be more comfortable. Okay? Right, but when have you seen a dog in the aisle? That's the aisle. TFO? TFO in the aisle? Well, why didn't Robert know about it? Robert, do you know about this service dog at TFO?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, you better find out. All right, elevators. Patrons with disabilities, obvious or not, must always be allowed to use the elevator. If a patron tells you that they cannot use the stairs and looks stronger than a bull, I really wrote that, you must allow them to use the elevator. Do not ever question them regarding their handicap, okay? You just can't, and if they need to use the elevator, you just gotta let them, all right? In school times, again, do not touch the kids. If you're working in a school time for the first time or need a refresher, please ask a head usher for direction. These programs are great to do for the community and are typically only 1 hour long, okay? They load in, 1 hour, they load out, and you're done, okay? Breaks and usher seating. Please remember to wait for the head usher to dismiss you and advise you of usher seating, if any. You may not sit until the lights go down, okay? You cannot, when the lights are still up, cross patrons and have 2 ushers sit and then 3 ushers come and then they sit. You have to wait till the lights go down and you all go in together. okay? Usher comp tickets. So this is kind of new. So all the time that I've told you, never go to the ticket office, never go to the ticket office, never go to the ticket office. Well, now you're gonna be going to the ticket office. Yay! All right, so what we'll do is, we're gonna be designating a Usher comp window. I'm hoping to always have that window so that you'll know automatically to go there. So from now on, not from now on, but after the ticket office opens, which should be November 1st, when there are comps, we will designate a window at the ticket office. And it will be 3:30 to 6:30, okay? Please do not email Kathleen or email me the day after, because those tickets, once 6:30 comes, 6:45, they're put back into the system and they cannot be retrieved anymore. So please do not ask, put Kathleen in a bad situation, or for us to tell you, so that you understand, 6:30, 6:45, they go back in the system. Okay? Then they won't be available anymore. Okay? Let me see what else. We're almost done. What time is it? All right. So we have about 50 new ushers training the months of October, November, December. We appreciate your expertise and patience while they shadow during these months. The first report I got from, they started at Peppa Pig. You all were very gracious and extremely positive and great with them. So we really appreciate your help and your expertise to train them and have them come on board starting January 1st, okay? Years of service. Let's see. So I told you about your letter. You'll hand in your welcome Usher form and you'll get a letter on your way out. And lastly, we'll be giving out the years of service pins, but I do want to give you a little homework to do, and that is, on your spare time, if you could go to our website and navigate our website, you won't believe, everything we do here is in our website. So any questions, like how do you buy a lunchbox? Or anything you need to know and a patron asks you and you don't know the question, you can find out on our website. And then this way, the next time somebody asks you, you'll know what it is. So while you're not, there's nothing on TV, I have 400 channels, there's never anything on TV. While you're got your laptop, just go in. How do I apply to be a volunteer? How do I, whatever. You go in there and all that we do is in there. And that's the best educational tool for you to find out what's going on here. Capital site, we have a Ruth Eckerd Hall site and we have a Murray site. Go in, get familiar. This way if a patron asks you, you know the answer. And of course, if you don't know the answer, you could always say, please go to our Ruth Eckerd Hall website. Make sure, and also tell them, make sure you go into our website, wait till you see our pictures, then you'll know it's our website, because when you put in Ruth Eckerd Hall, the first two, I think, are not us. So reiterate to the patron, make sure you see our pictures, make sure you see the front of the building, then you'll know that it's our website. Yes, ma'am?
If ushers have to cancel a show, do we still communicate to patron services?
Yes, that's a good question. Yes, that's going to stay the same. Okay, so anytime you need to cancel, you'll send an email to patron services, and everybody knows how to do that. I have no problem with that. Okay? Are there any questions before we go into years of service? What happened to the marquee? We're getting a new, beautiful, state-of-the-art LED, 40, 60 LED lights, like your flashlights. New marquee. You guys are awesome. Thank you.